Episode 7, bottom of the bounce. We're at episode 7, which is really cool. Although this will, just for memories, this is the first one I've had to start to record and then start over because I wasn't saying things right. So, bottom of the bounce, episode 7, take 2. Even though you're not going to see take 1 because I already deleted it. Kind of girl I am. All right. So, episode 7. The past couple episodes have been more of a positive spin, right? Because the first ones I felt like were such a downer, like here's where I'm at, here's how we got here, here's all the things that happened. And I in no way want this to be just where I get on here and bitch and moan and fuss and whine. And I don't know why I went full southern, but there you go. Fuss and whine and bitch and moan. I'm not going to do that because then it's not the bottom of the bounce because you're not bouncing. It's the bottom of the blit, and that's not what this is. We are not the bottom of the blit. We are the bottom of the bounce. We're bouncing up. However, being there's good in all things. So I told you the negative things. The past couple have been very positive. We did talk about the miracle morning and how great it is to start a morning with intention. We talked about I just briefly mentioned, I didn't do a whole thing on it, but the 12-week year is an incredible way to set goals and just kind of keep some things organized, right? I love me some 12-week year. So it wasn't a whole thing because it's not a book club either. However, I also don't want it to be so toxic positive that you're like, wow, I thought she was going through all these things and all she does is get on here and cheerlead. I'm going to get on here and cheerlead. My personality is a little bit more like that. But at the same time, I shit's rough. So I get it. So I'm coming to you this time with a little bit of a struggle that I'm having. So I'm going to back up a minute to where I get my stuff out of Slumlord's storage. Slumlord storage. The Slumlord studio put it into storage. Words are tough today, friends. And I think I'm going to restart my business here in the town where I live in Salina, and it is just going to take me a minute and a half, and I'm going to start right up. I know I'm the only master photographer. I do tangible portraits. I do fine art portraits. I paint them. I do things that are different, and I can't wait to just walk in and do them. And that's not exactly how it happened. So, as life would have it, things are harder sometimes than you think they're going to be. And I tend to have that optimist, naive vibe a lot of times. And I did. It totally didn't work out. Well, not totally, but it's just taking longer. So I also had all the bills to pay at the same time. So, okay, I'm hearing from different sources, you need to get a job. I can't say that was bad advice. I got bills to pay, need to get a job. So I also, since we were talking about books, this is not going to be a whole episode on this book either. However, it's my creative Bible, one of two, and it's Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. If you are a creative and you haven't read that, my God, go read that. However, it talks about the muse, right? The genius, inspiration, if you will. It's going to land on you like a butterfly. And if you don't do something with it or accommodate it or create with the idea that it's giving you, it's going to go to somebody else. By the same token, if it lands on you and it wants to grow and it wants to be created and it wants to flourish and do what only you can do with it until you don't, then it'll go to somebody else and it'll be slightly different. Um, the other thing that you don't want to do when this creative butterfly lands on you um, is squash it. You don't want to put so much pressure on that it has to happen, that it can't fly and it can't live and it can't go be the beautiful thing that it's supposed to be because you created it, which is what I felt like I was doing to my art. I felt like I was putting so much financial pressure on fly hippie and the photography and the art of it. There was so much financial pressure because bills are due right now. And I'm suddenly in a town that doesn't know me. And I'm thinking the house payment's due. And so we need that right now. There was a lot of pressure on the art. There is a lot of pressure on the art. So at the time of being told, go get a second job, my positive inner dialogue was, okay, where I'm really worried and I don't know how it's going to happen with one car, and my resume is going to look very childlike because I am a creative and I haven't really had jobs. Um, I was worried about those things. I was worried about the logical things, the getting there, husband in dialysis, one car, where's it going to be? How am I going to do it? But the other side, the inner dialogue was, or monologue, I guess. Depends on the day. um, was that it will take the pressure off the art so my art can flourish because the bills will be paid. Fast forward, the job isn't paying the bills. The art is still having to do a lot, but now on less time. So the pressures are still there. There hasn't been the that I thought there would be. That's one part of it. So just tuck that in your pocket, your hat, your ear, wherever you stick parts of stories. Just be kind. Stop it. Not there. Anyhow, the other thing, I got this job and I had 3 weeks before I started it. So I had a lot of thinking, and it was beautiful weather. Of course, this was a couple of months ago, so it was beautiful weather. It was stinking hot, but it was beautiful, and I was tan because I had been painting outside so much and doing all my creative things outside because I just wanted, I'm a plant with emotions like we all are, and I needed sunshine and fresh air, and I needed my bare feet on the grass. And clearly, I needed ant bites because there were a lot of them. And so, in that 3 weeks, I was doing a lot of that, realizing that my life was about to change again. And I was worried about it. I was really, really worried about it. I was so worried because what I was worried about was that I was going to become Ants Marching by Dave Matthews. That first verse where he wakes up in the morning, brush the teeth, bite to eat, then he just does the same thing constantly. That's what I was afraid of, that I was going to get up, get ready, go to work, get up, get ready, go to work, get up, get ready, go to work. And the artist who I am in my soul was going to melt away because I was going to become an employee. I was really worried about this. I was obsessively worried about this in my own head. I don't know that I told so many people about it, but one person I did tell about it was my dear friend Mike. We were eating dinner. He manages, he's a tour manager for Vertical Horizon. And so we were having dinner before I was photographing Vertical Horizon. And I think this was a Fight for Fighting show. We had dinner. It was Fight for Fighting and Vertical Horizon. And I'm starting a job on Monday, but I am doing this right before I start the job. So I'm like riding that wave before it crashes in my head. I'm doing what everything in me has dreamt of. And then Monday morning I get to go to work. And so Mike and I are at dinner, and I've known him for a billion years, and he's a dear friend. And I tell him I'm terrified that I'm going to become an employee, and I won't be an artist anymore. And thankfully, he said he probably doesn't know it to this day. He said the perfect thing back. And he was teasing me as he does. But he said, "Really? Because I actually have the opposite fear for you. I'm afraid that you're such an artist, you'll never be an employee." Which oddly was the biggest uplift he could have given me in that moment. It was funny. I'll never forget it. He's not wrong now that I've been an employee for 2 months, it was definitely a struggle into another world that I didn't know. I didn't know a corporate world. I didn't know straight commission. I thought I was doing that with photography because if I didn't create it and I didn't sell it, I didn't make any money. And to me, that's straight commission. I did not take in the dog eat dog world of a straight commission job. So I've learned a lot about people and about the survival of the fittest, I guess you will. And the when you take gray areas out and you go black and white, that it can be a situation where I worked with somebody for over a month, but if they came in on my day off, it's now that other person's sale. We don't have that in photography. My my tribe of artists and photographers, we uplift each other, we challenge each other, we teach each other, we help each other, we want each other to win. That is the tribe I have built. I'm pretty particular about who I spend my moments with when it comes to creativity, and my closest friends are creatives, and we don't do that to each other. We want to survive too, but we also appreciate what the other ones bring to the table, and we know that we're all different. We all have different strengths and etc. That was what I'm used to, not this side of it. So it has been a 2 months of a lot of education in different types of people for me. And it is also when I started, like I said, I had an incredible weekend where I am photographing incredible people doing incredible things, and I mean, a high doesn't even talk about how I am on top of the world when I get to do these things, right? And so I am photographing this incredible show, these incredible musicians, these incredible humans. And I am loving life. And then I get to start to work on Monday. But I've been so afraid that I was going to lose myself in being an employee that I made a promise to myself that I would create every morning. I would get up at 5 o'clock. I would paint. I would edit. I would create something every single morning before I went to work. And it was really easy when I very first started the job because I had not only had I photographed these two bands, I had also done a senior session, I had done a baby session, I had done a 1 year old session, I had done numerous headshots. Like I had the busiest lead up to starting work. I had so much to edit, I had so much to create, I had film to develop. If I Nope, that was later. No, I did have film to develop. I had ideas, I had paintings, oh my God, I had so much creativity that it was great in the beginning. Now we're 2 months later. Obviously, all of those sessions are edited, and it's hard to get people into the studio when I don't have as much off time as I did. Now, not only am I working with their schedules, they're working with my schedule, which I wasn't always as accustomed to. And I'm tired. I'm I'm tired. I am on my feet 9 hours a day. I'm gone from the house 11 and a half or 12 hours a day. It's an hour away. I'm in the car. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm not gonna sit here and just wah, wah, but freaking tired. So at 5 in the morning, I'm not always in the mood to get up and be creative because my inspiration and muse, I think, is sleeping. It is squashed under still still having too much responsibility, but at the same time, I'm not listening as closely because I'm tired, right? So I am struggling with creativity a little bit. And I'm really sensitive to that. So I'm sure it's not like I haven't done anything or I haven't It's just I'm really sensitive. I like to wake up inspired, and I'm not doing that right now. And I don't want to have to make myself be creative because I don't feel like that's the right thing to do either. So, talking to any of you creatives, what are we doing on that? What are we doing in this day and age? So I have not experienced that until recently, and it's scaring me because I don't want to be an ant, and I don't want to march. I want to be an ant dancing. And Dave Matthews, if you're listening, if we could just like, if you could write a sequel to Ants Marching and just be it about like maybe ants dancing or something. I don't know. Maybe you already have it. Whatever. But I want to be the ant that's dancing. I don't want to be the ant that's marching and just the same thing every day. So thinking on this, because I do take to heart what I say on this, and I'm trying to refine what I want to do before the end of the year. And I was thinking on, I love to paint, I love to photograph, I love all of that, right? Like give me art and let's go. Um I've also realized the other thing that I miss is I miss teaching. One of the things I loved to do in my studio was workshops and classes, and I taught high school photography for a while. And I recently ran into a mom who I had taught her kids that are like grown and married and parents now, but I had taught her kids high school photography. I've taught art camps to little bitty kids. I've taught a lot of people and I love it and I miss it. So one of the things that I'm going to incorporate, I'm going to get it together, right? Because we have our end of year goals and then we're going to have our 2026 goals. So end of year, I'm getting it together. 2026, I'm going to be teaching again to where, you know what, if I'm not waking up inspired for myself, if I don't want to, hair and makeup to do a self portrait at 5 o'clock in the morning, because let me just tell you, this far in my life, that hasn't happened. And I don't see it happening because I love me some 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to look cute. I want to look like hair and messy hair in a bun, and I'll put clothes on, but there's ew. I just want to go create or drink coffee or read a book or something easy, but looking cute isn't part of it. Um, I don't want to put on makeup and do a self portrait and get the lights out and set up the studio. And I'm not there at 5 o'clock in the morning, um, which is okay. I do love to paint. I want to go outside and I want to sit and I want to be a plant. I want to be an artistic plant with emotions. And now it's cold. It's November. It's cold. And I'm a plant that withers in cold. So I can also work on things I want to teach people because I'm always inspired to do that. Let me just tell you, second job selling tile, the the discontinued or broken tiles I have brought home to create art projects. It's like I knew a class was going to be coming before I knew it was coming because oh my god, the ideas I have gotten from this second job to enhance the first one once I realize it are incredible. So the other thing that I've actually looked at, I a friend suggested that I even video them, and I teach video classes on art and photography. I don't even know if that would be a good thing. I wouldn't do it on here, but I guess like Patreon. I don't even know what that is, but evidently that's something I could do. And I just think that's cool. So on this one, I'm telling you, I'm struggling with creativity. If you have suggestions, give them to me. I'm finding ways to be creative in my own right, and it's changing. And I'm kind of just like listening to how the universe is guiding me a little bit, although it is clearly speaking Swahili right now, and I do not. Um, I wish I did because it would be easier. This would be a book. If my life was a book, I'd be chapter skipping to the last one just so I could see what the hell do I need to be doing. However, not knowing, I think classes, workshops, maybe online if I can figure that out, online classes would be super fun. And if you guys have any ideas, if you creatives have any ideas for me, bring them. Bring them all. I will take them, because I'm struggling with that part right now. So, oh, I'm 20 minutes in on asking you guys for help. So I'm going to let you go because that's long. You guys don't want to listen to me for 20 minutes, but that's what I want. Go read Big Magic. Think of creative ideas. If you want to take a class or a workshop, hit me up because I am getting them together right now. They should start in January. And if you want to do a video one, let me know that I should really, really look into that because that's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but I am married to a videographer. So we can figure it out. I'm letting you guys go at 20 minutes. There we are back with the 2020. I have to Barbara Walters you. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bottom of the bounce. Go subscribe wherever the button is. And I'm going to turn it off. I love you guys. I love you. Love you.